Hello, today we're outside because it's fucking gorgeous. Sun is beating down, it's Wednesday afternoon and I've got nothing better to do than drink beer. Well, actually, thing is I finished early to help the fitter with the kitchen, but his missus turned her ankle and had to go to A&E. Hopefully she'll be alright. So that leaves me with an afternoon with nothing better to do than drink beer. But I don't just have beer to drink, I have a challenge. The BBC Challenge 2022. Dear John, you are hereby invited to take part in the 2022 BBC BrewBoy Callaby Challenge. Yeah, so this is from BrewBoy Callaby. And the challenge is this. To drink 3 beers in one night, well, one afternoon. Record your evening and post the video on YouTube. Here we are. Not that difficult, you may think, but there's a twist. Inside the box there are beers numbered 1, 2 and 3, and you need to drink them in order. Beer 1 is a Dortmunder Export 5.2% German lager. Beer 3 is a hoppy, hazy 16% New England IPA. Beer 2, and here's the twist. There are 2 beers, 2A and 2B. One of them is a porter at 5.8%, and the other is a coffee Tonka Bourbon Imperial Stout at 13%. Obviously, the porter's the more natural choice to drink in the order for the challenge, so the idea is to avoid the stout. Don't get me wrong, the stout's a lovely beer, but something to be put aside and sipped on a separate occasion. You don't have to take the challenge on, the beers are yours to enjoy however you wish, and also if you want to know which one is the stout, then let me know and I can tell you. If you take the challenge and pick the stout as beer 2, you can move on to the Nipa if you wish, and come back to the stout as your 3rd beer. Now, I think I know which is the stout. So, I think it's 2B. So it was 2B or not 2B was the question, and I think 2B is the one to avoid. So I'm going to avoid 2B. It looks like a stout. A very strong Imperial Stout at that. I may be wrong, and we will find out. But beer number 1, Dortmunder Export, 5.2% German lager. Now, he even sent me the recipes. There, so I don't know if you want to, I'll put that on there like that for a minute. Then you too can look at the recipes. So, brewed in Maidenhead, beer number 1. And there's also the new TikTok thing going around where first beer, last beer kind of videos going on. So, this is the first of the beers. Take the tape off, get covered in tape, try and get rid of the tape, tape stuck to fingers. Nice haze. Ooh, I can smell that already. That does smell. Oh, that does smell like a nice. Oh yeah, this is what I want right now. Going with this glass today because it's. I think it'll do all 3 beers well. I think it'll do all 3 beers well. Oh, first of the day at 1 o'clock, I believe it is. On a Wednesday afternoon. No work for me tomorrow. It's my day off. So, cheers to you all. And cheers, Mr. Callaby. Cheers, Matt. Let's get in. Oh, God, it smells just like you expect. Crisp lager. That malt smell. But in a little bit of that pepperiness. Earthy sort of stuff. You know what I mean. Let's get in there. Another man who brews with raw water, and you can tell this is banging. Right, so I have a tablet which I've just turned off, and we have what I had a second ago. There we are, on Firefox. The recipe. So this is. Sorry, I'm just going to clear the screen. It's so bright out here, I can barely see. Original gravity 1.048, final gravity 1.008. So reasonably dry. Yeah. IBU Tinseth 29. BUGU is 0.59. Colour 7.3 EBC. It is a nice colour, isn't it? Like golden colour. So what have we got malt wise? Best malts Pilsen malt 4.5 kilos. Simpson's Munich malt, 250 grams. There's only a touch of Munich in it. It's mostly Pilsen. God, me. Well carbonated anyway, that's for sure. And it is a nice beer. It's got Tettnang, Hallertauer Mittelfrau, Saaz, and Hallertauer Mittelfrau. So 40 grams of Tettnang at 60 minutes, 40 grams of Mittelfrau at 10 minutes, 26 grams of Saaz at 10 minutes, and then 13 grams of Mittelfrau at end of boil. It's got his miscellaneous, the water, what does it say what it is? Dortmund European style export. Water profile. There it is, that's what I was looking for. So it's got all those bits for his water profile. Yeah, Ca2 plus 87, magnesium 2 plus 3, Na plus 8, Cl 80, Sl4 2, 115, and HCO3 16. Carbonation at 2.4 CO2s per volume, and was in primary at 20C for 14 days. And yeast was the Bohemian Lager yeast, the Y yeast Bohemian Lager. So there we go. That's the recipe. This is the beer, and it's a nice beer. It had all that aroma and everything that I really like. It's very smooth. It's a lot smoother than I expected. And Dortmund export, it does remind you of just those kind of German export beers. I can't even think. I want to say Perlenbacher, but it's better than a Perlenbacher. It's nicer than a Perlenbacher, but it's that kind of export style Pilsner. Maybe oh hello cat. Yeah, it's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this video. Well, I'm going to stop the video. I'll sit and drink this beer. Then I'll come back, probably at the end, with the next beer. Open that, and we'll go that way. Right, I'm back with the last of the Dortmund exporter, and I have to say, I'm feeling it already. It's kicking in. It's a nice beer, but I'm starting to feel that warm glow spread. I could happily sit and drink a few of those. Probably not so good for my speech and my motor functions, but absolutely cracking beer. Cheers, Matt. And I've got another one now. Right. So the question was to be or not to be. Whether it is better to drink an Imperial Stout or a Porter. So I went with 2A, which I believe is the Porter, rather than the Imperial Stout. I look forward to the Imperial Stout, though. I really do, because they're my favourites. I think they're a lot of everyone. I say that, but then I have like that Dortmund Export. That's my favourite right now. You know? Oh, a little bit of a hiss. Smells nice. Do I get coffee in Tonka? No, I don't think I do. I have the recipe here. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this should be a porter. Let's pour and see. Oh, have I really messed this up and got the Impy? I should be able to tell straight away, shouldn't I? I think 2B was the Impy. Smells nice. Smells like a bit of coffeeness there. Right, let me have a look what the... I'm starting to doubt myself now. I just says porter and stout on that. Right, on that sheet, on this sheet, it says... oaked coffee tonka bourbon Imperial Stout, or a porter. Let's have a taste. I would probably say this was the porter. Initial tests seem to indicate that. It doesn't go up the glass as much. I'm certainly not getting that feel. It's a lot. It's not like really rich and yeah. This is the porter. Yeah, got me. I think I got it. So let's go through. Oh, it's nice though. Baltic style porter. This is good. Again, raw water. I need to sort that, don't I? There's a lot of things. You know, everyone's got now. I sat down. New kitchen come in. Right, we'll do this before I get into that. So I sat down. Got to get a new kitchen. Got to get rid of all my fermentation fridge, my buckets and that. So how do I go? What do I do? I'll up it. I'll up my game. I'll go with the Grandfather glycol chiller and get the conical fermenter. Yeah. And me. At which point everyone went, "Hey, just keep a firm fridge. Pressure fermenting, it's the best." And it was just like, I've just spent over $1,000 on these. No one even told me at the time. Honestly, that exporter hasn't got to me yet. Right, back to the recipe. So this is a midnight porter, Baltic style porter, 6%, 14.7 peas. That's Plato, isn't it? Yeah. All grain profile V2, 74% efficiency, 23 litre batch. I should have said that about the last one. That was a 23 litre batch, I'm assuming. Matt also has a glycol chiller and 2 conical fermenters. So he must be twice as no heat. No, he's quite happy, I think. Batch 123, ball time 60 mins, mash waters. Yeah, so we'll go through that. We don't need to bother with that. We'll go with the gravity. Original gravity 1.060 and final gravity 1.014. That's AD advanced. Is that what was believed to be? IBU 37, BUGU 0.61, colour 74.5 EBC. So it's very dark, meant to be very dark. Baltic porter, of course. Final gravity 1.014. So yeah, it's not as thick as an Impy would be, and I'm assuming. So what percentage did I say this was? 1.060 down to us. It doesn't even tell me, and I should work it out myself, shouldn't I? 6%. So it's just upped a tad. Right, so in the recipe, temperature of 65. Oh, I did a mash for 80 minutes. It's a bit different. Mash out 75 for 10 minutes, and he went with 4.5 kilos of crisp Maris, 400 grams of Wayman's Carapils, 300 grams of crisp Crystal Dark, 300 grams of crisp pale wheat, 250 grams of crisp chocolate, and 200 grams of Bryce Midnight Wheat Malt. I've not tried Midnight Wheat. I might have to give that a go. Interesting idea. And then 150 grams of Bryce rice hulls, obviously, just to help with the mash and the sparge. Alright, hops, 20 grams of Warrior at 60 minutes, 15 grams of Cascade at 30 minutes, and 28 grams of Tetnang at 5 minutes. Water profile is Ca2 plus 80, magnesium 2 plus 1, Na plus 14, Cl 44, SO4 2 minus 61, and HCO3 136. There's your bingo numbers. Anyone got a line? Anyone got a line? Have you got to call house? Come on. Alright. So his yeast was USO5. Well, there you go. That's the recipe. Now let's get on to actually how it feels and tastes. There's a long, late lingering bitterness. I will say that. It grows. It's one of those growing late bitterness. I mean, look at that. It's a nice beer, and I'm not having a go at it. I'm not having a go about the bitterness, because then you just go, you know what? I haven't had a drink in about 30 seconds, and I need to get a drink. That's what you do. So you drink it, and you go, oh, that's lovely. That's very lovely. And you do, because it is. It really is lovely. It's got a nice body to it. It's not like a big body. It's definitely not an Imperial Stout. It's a porter. It really is a porter. There's no coffee notes. I thought there was on the aroma, but it's not. There's no coffee notes whatsoever in it, as far as I can tell. A little touch of chocolate. Very. If I had to say chocolate, it would be Bourneville. You know, that dark Bourneville chocolate. Quite bitter. That bitter chocolate, which is about right. Yeah, I suppose. But it's not like a big thing. It's just teasing through the back. Yeah, as I'm leaving it lingering on my mouth, I can feel that bitterness building. And that's that. It's almost like that West Coast bitterness. That real punchy, in-your-face bitterness. But it comes upon you slowly, like a West Coast does. And I know Matt likes his West Coast, so I'm not surprised by having that kind of bitterness in here. And that's probably a good thing, because it's been a long time since I've had something like this, and I liked them then. I used to think, oh, I could do with something a little less bitter, and everything then moved on to Nipas and stuff, and as everyone else did. But then I got to a point in my brewing where it was like just too sweet, mellow, and you wanted to go back. And Matt's done the same, and a lot of people have done the same. So it's nice to have that, finding that balance again, that balance between the two. And this is doing it. This is lovely. And that was just like Nipas and Pales and everything that went that way. But I think when you think of a Baltic porter, you do think a bit. I don't know. There's a bit more of a bitterness to it, but then also almost a cleaner flavour. Just from my thoughts on it. I mean, I may be completely wrong, and what you're supposed to taste is something completely different. I'm just going on what I've tried and what I've thought of them. And please, if I am absolutely completely wrong, just tell me down below. So, this is beer 2. I'm not pouring these away or anything. Christ, can you imagine doing that? And you can obviously tell I am on to beer 2, which is the way this is supposed to be played, the challenge. And to be honest, you know what? I started this at 1 o'clock, it's only 1:30, and I'm on beer 2, halfway down, I guess. Luckily for me, my youngest is getting picked up by his grandparents and having his tea there and getting dropped off back later. My eldest is living at the grandparents because he couldn't cope with the idea of me having to cook out here and not having a kitchen, and he just couldn't cope with it. There's a lot of stuff he just couldn't cope with. Yeah, so it was better off he stayed there. He's been staying there for like last 3 weeks now, I think. And do you know what? It's been fucking brilliant. Oh, teenagers, eh? I remember being one, and you just think, just leave me alone. I just want to be left alone and do my thing, you know? Yeah, you miserable bastard. Fucking just get with it. No, he's storming along, but he does like to moan a bit. He does like to fucking moan. But don't we all? And didn't we all at that age? So, should we have a bit of a chat? Or should we just cut out? I'll come back when I'm a bit further down, ready for the third and final beer of the challenge. Imperial Stout. I'm thinking with the Imperial Stout, because I also got one for Big Banana, and my friend Mike Cockroy, who lives around the corner, he gave me one of his Impy Stouts pretty much a week later after he brewed it, and said, try that now, and then near Christmas I'll give you another one of that batch, because I want you to do a comparison video for me. So I'm thinking I'll keep these and save them for Christmas. I mean, it's going to be difficult because they just sit there just going, it's almost like beacons going, drink me, drink me, drink me, I'm amazing, drink me. You know what I mean? It just sits there in the back of your head, just every now and then you go, oh. Alright, I fancy a beer, what shall I have? Have me, have me, have me, pops in your head. Yeah. So I'm going to, the plan is then to hold them, keep them. Maybe not do a comparison between them all, but do like a video of them all. And I haven't done one myself yet, and I really should. I know I really need to do this sour, this watermelon sour. It's the watermelon puree. It's put me off. We're talking like 20 quid just for a kilo of watermelon puree. At least 20 quid minimum. And if it doesn't come off, it just tastes shit. That's like masses of money. I know it's just 20 quid, but it's just, I'd rather sit here and see what 20 quid burns like. You know what I mean? Do a video just burning a 20 quid note. Right. Getting down there. That was a lovely beer. Now I should now have the Nipa ready, but I forgot to go get it. Because I'm into beer number 2. It was at 6%, so I'm gonna leave this on actually, and I'm gonna run and get it and come back just to show that I am still doing it and not just like keeping this t-shirt aside and coming back out. I mean, you can watch the shadows and stuff. Right, back in a second. Yep, got the pins out today because of the sun. Right, so this is the New England IPA. Yes. So we've gone from that bitterness of the Baltic Porter, which I understand now his logic. You've gone from that to something a bit sweeter. Now, I better sort this out first. I should have done all of this before, but you know, as you can see, I've done 2 beers now. So forethought is struggling. So I need to use this, my tablet, to get onto the QR scanner, scan the code for the Nipa. There we go. So that should get me on there. Right, I'll leave that running because it takes some. It's not the fastest of tablets, I'll be honest. And we'll come back to this. So this is the third and final beer. So I just need to peel this tape off. Obviously, Matt thought this through well. He thought, right, I'll make the tape more difficult on the third beer, so everyone looks a bit sillier. Well, certainly me. Although I do most of that myself, don't I? Right. Oh. Take the end of that. This is it. New England IPA. Nice bit of haze. Ooh, bit of gun smoke. Fruity. Right. In she goes. Look at that. That's just juice. That's just juice. Juice. No. at that pour. Not as big a head as you'd imagine, is it? Which is good. But look at that colour on that. I'd like to change the light just to affect it slightly, because I know Matt likes that. Yeah, that's a fruit salad. Mango, juicy pineapple. Yeah, definitely pineapple in there, isn't there? Yeah. Gotta dive in. That's what it's for. Oh, yes. Definitely pineapple. Pineapple seems to be big with a bit of mango there as well. Pineapple and mango, yeah, mango more actually. Mango more and a pineapple. It's helping reduce that bitterness from the last, that Baltic Porter. So I can see why he did that. Let's go now to, I scanned the Dortmunder. Right. It picked the dot right. I have to do this with a way of reducing that option. Right, it won't be a sec, and we'll go. Well, why don't I just go to Matt's? Can I do that? Do you know? It's easier for me to work out what the hell I'm doing without doing that. QR scanner. Oh, now the house phone's ringing. What time is it? I'm assuming she's tried ringing here. Now the QR scanner is not working. Oh, there it is. Right, and she's trying ringing me now. Sorry, just trying to sort this. There we go. That's an Ipa one. Scan. Yes. I suppose a lot of this looks like it's because I'm pissed. It may actually be just I'm a bit of a boomer these days, as I'm told frequently by my 17-year-old. You must get that yourself these days. Dad, you're such a boomer. Okay. So here we are, looking at the challenge. I think I'm coping with it. I'm just waiting on the recipe. Haha, here we are. Nipa version 15. Christ, you've done a fair few Nipas now there, Matt. Because this is going well. New England IPA, 7%. I can see why now we've done it, because we're steadily racking up that ABV. 74.7% efficiency, batch volume 23 litres, boil time 60 minutes as usual. OG 1.072, final gravity 1.019. Yep, I would say that's definitely got the body. But I will say, I think it's got a touch of bitterness as well. I don't know whether that's the residual bitterness from the last beer that's carrying over. Which probably is. I probably should have a cracker, you know, like if I was doing a proper tasting and marking and stuff. But I'm not. I'm just doing a challenge for a friend. I'm not doing it for a friend. He's doing it for me. And I'm loving every second of it. But you know what I mean. Oh. So, let's have a look and see. Saying that, yeah, IBU's 35. That's a lot higher than I would do in Ipa. Once again, personal preference. I know Matt, he likes the higher IBUs. He does have that love of the old Westies, the old West Coasts. So I'm not surprised by that. I mean, he's 48. I would normally be 24. So that's quite a difference, isn't it? Colour 11.4, temperature 65. Again, 80-minute mashes. I'd be intrigued to know why, Matt. you do 80-minute mashes instead of 60 or 50 or 70 at all. I'm intrigued. So it might work best for your equipment, I guess, for because I forget that's your own equipment and stuff, rather than an off-the-shelf thing like a Grainfather. You're a 3-ton, a 3-system man. Is it called a 3-ton system? That's the word. 3-ton system man. A 3-ton system man. Yeah. Right. 23. Oh, right. Yeah, 23 litres. Boil time 60 minutes. So what was I reading? About 80 minutes. Am I drunk? Oh, that was the mash, obviously. Mash for 80 minutes. Why? Yeah, we're back to that, aren't we? So yeah, boil time 60 minutes. Malts 4.5 kilos of Thomas Fawcett Pale Malt Golden Promise. Oh, Golden Promise. You've got to go Golden Promise, haven't you? Sorry if you can hear that. That's usually happening around here every day. I don't know who it is and what they're doing, but they do. Ooh, there's a wasp. Get away. I nearly knocked over the Ipa then. Oh, I would have cried. I would have cried. That's alright, yeah. 4.5 kilos of Thomas Fawcett Pale Malt Golden Promise. 820 grams. Yep, see. 820 grams. Best smells wheat malt. 550 grams of Breeze Carapils, 430 grams of Simpson's Oats Golden Naked. Golden Naked Oats, in fact. 260 grams of Colorado Honey Malt. Very interesting. Maltodextrin. There we go. 500 grams of maltodextrin. Old school. Fucking old school. Yeah. Anything to say about those malts? Golden Promise, what do you expect? Beshmal's wheat malt. Apparently white wheat seems to be the thing I've heard to do these days. Not really understood why. Well, it's not that I haven't understood it, I've not looked into it, so that's why I don't understand it, because I've not looked into it. Why? But I believe that's been said. Carapils, yeah. Simpson's Golden Naked Oats. Oats, yeah. Golden, yeah. I don't, why naked? He's just a bit dirty, you know. No, right. And honey malt. Now that's an interesting one. That's I guess that's to add another touch of sweetness in some way. Yeah, and the maltodextrin obviously is an old school thing that I have been doing, and I've been wanting to get. I call it a cheat personally because I feel I am cheating because I'm just adding sugars instead of adding a malt. But that's how we did it early on in the old Ipa early days kind of thing. Back in the day, you know. Anyway, it's neither here nor there for me. I use it. I'd like to do it without, but I'm not going to quibble when someone else uses it. So, right, onto the big stuff, the good stuff, the hops. So 73 grams of Strata at 20-minute hop stand. Strata. I've not had Strata. So this is what happens when you have a drink. I'll concentrate. So we'll go through it. 73 grams of Strata. 70 grams of Idaho 7. Also at the 20-minute hop stand. 40 grams of Citra at 20-minute hop stands. Then at 3 days, we have 100 grams of Equinox, 100 grams of Sabro, and 40 grams of Citra, and then 35 grams of Amarillo, and 25 grams of Amarillo. Oh, because they're different Amarillo. There's Amarillo 9.6% AA, and then there's also Amarillo 8% AA. So hence why the double Amarillo at that point. Water profile, Ca2A 101, Mg2A 19, Na plus 8, Cl 181, SO4 2 75, HCO3 16. And that is an Ipa. Now, Strata, I've not had Strata, I don't know what Strata is. There's a lot of new hops coming to the market. I haven't got a bloody clue. I rusted the other day. Vista. None of us fucking heard of it. Right, well, I haven't. I know Dickie hadn't. So, Strata's probably around ages, and I've just not taken much notice. But Idaho 7, Citra, Equinaut, Sabro, Citra again, and Amarillo. Yeah, I can get all that. So, let's try it again. And maybe talk about it this time. Now I have a knowledge of what's supposed to be in there. Yeah, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed now. Beer 3. You think just 3 beers? But I've got sunshine beating down on me. I'm starting to sweat. I should have had water in between, shouldn't I? You know, like a glass of water, like a professional athlete. Because that's what I am. I'm a professional athlete. Drinking beers for a challenge. Take the challenge seriously, son. Have that water ready in between. This is why I'll always be an amateur. Always an amateur. There was a belief back in the early days, 20s, etc., that to be a professional athlete was a bit, you know, that was a bit wrong. You don't get paid to do sports. You should do it for the love of doing the sports. Hence why the Olympics is all amateurs. Football. Could you imagine football, just amateurs? They just play once a week. Yeah. What would you do then? Just once a week, go and see some amateurs play football. Christ, I did that for 10 years with my eldest. That was fun. Anyway, back to the beer. Yeah. What can I say? It's a New England IPA. I'm sat in the sunshine. The day is glorious. I have fish and chips coming to me shortly when the missus finishes work, so I don't have to cook, because that's a fucking nightmare without a kitchen. No children. Happy fucking days, eh? Happy fucking days. It's a little more bitter, a little more. That's dreadful English, isn't it? The bitterness is more than I would personally wish, but it doesn't alter the beer being good. It is only my preference for a lower bitterness, is what I'm whining about, because I'm a whiny bitch. As a beer, it's outstanding. It's got that mouth feel, you know, really sticky, heavy sugary mouth feel that covers every part of your mouth. You swallow, it fills you. It feels like fruit juice. Yeah. And as I said earlier, it's mango and pineapple-y, but looking back at what's on there, it's Citra. Oh, I've just messed it all up again. Bear with me. So Idaho 7. I like Idaho 7. I like Citra. I like Equinaut. I'm not the biggest fan of Sabro. It's alright, but it adds a creaminess that I'm not a big fan of. Which is the coconut bit. But to me, it's just, it creams things when I want it sharp. In its way, I suppose it works. I'm very like, yeah, what can I say? It's hitting all the notes. I just need to know what strata is. So do you know what I'm going to do? Because we're into 20 minutes already. I'm starting to talk absolute twaddle. So I'm going to pause it, go back to my books, review everything, look at what shit is, and they might actually provide you with some information that might be useful. Although you probably all know, it's just me that's just a bit dim. John, not very nice and dim. So I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so I've had like a palate reset a bit. I had a glass of water, hopefully to kind of cleanse me. So I'm back with this, just to see if it's me with the bitterness build up using having the porter, the Baltic porter that was quite bitter for me. How this goes. And it resets my taste buds a bit there, because I'm getting flavours I didn't get last time, I think. Maybe a touch of yeah, I'm getting a bit of orange peel maybe. It's still more bitter than I'm used to for an Ipa, but that's not saying it's a bad Ipa. It's just my Ipas, I tend to go about 24 IBU anyway rather than 48, but that's Matt's taste. So the actual beer itself, fucking cracking, you know what I mean? Man, I'm not dissing you, mate. You're sending me beer. I haven't sent you beer in God knows how long. I think the last time I gave you beer was when you came up. Yeah. So, I think I'm about on to finishing my third beer. I've had, do you know what a glass of water does to you? Just like, it just goes, poof. You're building, you have a couple of beers, you get all excited, you're having a bit of laugh, and you have a glass of that, you just guys. That's where I am right now. That point. A bit chilled now. Happy days anyway. It's a beautiful day. There's not a lot more I can really do other than sober up, I guess, or carry on drinking. Sobering up sounds like a real boredom, but carrying on drinking sounds like it's going to be put to bed. So I think I'll try and find a happy medium there. I'm not sure what I'll do. Maybe play a bit of Xbox or something, because I want to go play with power tools and I really shouldn't, not now. Cut hedge, a bit, another hedge. But then I've got no space. I came back, cut hedge, filled the bin up with stuff. Christ, you know, I forget how much fucking physical matter hedges produce when you try and cook. I've got a bin, you know, like a normal wheelie bin, and that's our garden waste bin, and get it emptied, you know, every fortnight, and I can go down, I'll do like one side of a hedge, bang, that's full, great, get that emptied. I've got a fortnight to fill it. I can do that in half an hour. Yay, filled again. Do the top. Yep, that's full. Right. Alright. Yeah, my summer is just spent waiting for that bin to be emptied so I can do another job. Seems to be. And I don't even put grass shavings in. You know, I mow the lawn. I leave the lawn. Don't even get me started on the grass. Oh man. I've got to push a lawnmower. It was one of those things. I had like a hover mower thing. Most people, cable, and it was brilliant. It did what it was supposed to, and then it conked out. This is during lockdown. I was like, do you know what? a push along mower would be good, because I'm not exercising. I need the exercise, because I drink too much beer, get a big fat belly, as I do. So I need the exercise, so I'll get a push along mower. Alright, I'd like to be able to do stripes, you know, get the stripes and all that. Pardon me. So I've got a push along mower with a roller at the back. Well, fucking hell. Probably the worst decision of my life. I have not managed yet to enjoy. I mean, I know mowing the lawn is not an enjoyment, but it's one of those things you do and you just think, yeah, that was easy, go, move on. This is fucking trauma. I feel like fucking Sisyphus pushing that fucking rock up the hill every time, because it's just like, right, I've done that layer, now I have to strip it down, do the layer again, and I have to drop it and do it again. It's the dips and everything, it misses the dips. Oh my god. Never ever, if you think about it, never ever buy a fucking push mower with a roller. Please don't. Just don't. Anyway, you just have a little basket at the front to catch, and I don't even put that on. One, it's flimsy as fuck, and you touch anything and it falls off, and all the grass falls out anyway, so there's no fucking point using it. Point two is actually your grass is better off with it just being left. It creates a mulch. Well, yeah, A, it creates a mulch, which stops weeds growing through it, and B, when it breaks down, it adds nutrients back into the soil. It helps your grass grow. So, don't do it. Don't take your king grass and put it in a bin. Just let it, cut it, leave it. Just do it. It's best for your grass. It's all there. And this is going to be me saying sayonara. Goodbye. Ciao. Shalom. Arrivederci. That's the 3 beers. That's the BrewBoy Callaby Challenge 2022 completed. I have to say I enjoyed the whole thing, and I hope you can enjoy the video. You probably won't, because you probably get bored and because it's like that. So anyway, stop talking, move on. Cheers. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.